What up with you guys? You know who it is. It's your man, John Mike from down here at Gospel Producers. And today I am really ecstatic to reveal to you something that we have been working on for several months now. And that is Peculiar Sounds V2, boys and girls. So we have been working on this long and hard, and I am excited to show it to you today. So we're going to be doing a walkthrough of this plugin, showing you all of the new things that we have added to it, all of the new features, and some really exciting things that we have added to this version. One of the dopest features that we added to Peculiar Sounds V2 is Standalone Mode, boys and girls. This plugin now works without a DAW, which means it lives down here in your dock. You don't have to have Logic, you don't have to have Mainstage or Pro Tools or any of that. You can run this standalone, straight on your Mac, straight on your PC as an app all by itself, which means now you can use it in a live performance setting. You can use it out gigging at church, any of those places like that. You can just pull it up, connect your MIDI controller, and start playing Peculiar Sounds at any given place, any given time, without having to open up a DAW. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's dig in and let me show you around Peculiar Sounds V2 and some of the new features that we've added and all of those good things like that. So the same interface for the most part, as you can see, but we've added a few really dope things. So we have the envelopes where you have control over your attack, decay, sustain, and release for both layers. Speaking of layers, we have layers. We're going to talk about that in more detail as we continue to go through this. We have an updated preset browser that gives you the name of the patch that you're on, just kind of shows you up there. We also have preset tags. We're going to talk about that as well a little bit later. We even added in our little, waveform view that we have in all of our plugins now. We just decided to add that to Peculiar Sounds or what have you. Beyond that, you have preset and next and previous buttons that you can kind of go through your presets and stuff as well using those buttons. And then we have a couple of new pages that we added, which I'm going to talk about those in a minute, but we have our pitch bin and mod wheel right here, which is really cool. I like that because it really adds to the aesthetic of it being like a vintage synth, and that's what we kind of go for with Peculiar Sounds, to make it look and feel like hardware, you know what I'm saying? Before we get into the pages, I want to talk about this, which is our layer control over here. We put this on the front to give you immediate access to some simple parameters with the layers, which is like changing the layers, changing the sound. You can dig through here and change any layer, layer 1, layer 2, to whatever sound. You can also arm that layer or disarm that layer, and you can control the volume on said layer. And then if you need to get back to 0, you can literally just double click the fader and it'll go back to 0. So that gives you some immediate control over the layers on the front page where you don't really have to do anything, right? So that's pretty much the new homepage layout of Peculiar Sounds, but we've added in a couple of really cool things that I think you guys are gonna really love, which is first the MIDI browser, which is really cool, and we're gonna dig into that really later into this video, but I think you guys are gonna love it. But it's hundreds of MIDI files that are ready at your fingertips. These are chords, melodies, bass lines, drum loops, all at your fingertips. You can literally just click on whatever vibe and whatever thing and be able to load up a MIDI file. So the last part that I'll show you is the layer mixer, boys and girls. Just looking at it, it looks absolutely amazing and really dope. But we have the layer mixer, we have our effects section, it's like the low-fizer. We'll talk about that later. We added some more effects to our limiter, and we got like our mod effects and our filter mod, which is something that's really new that we're going to talk about. And we added in an arpeggiator. So this is really dope, and we're going to talk about that later as well. So that is pretty much like everything that's kind of new. We got the settings menu here that has like all of the settings. If you're in standalone mode, you'll see your audio settings and your MIDI sources right here. You can get your updates. You can do all of those things right here inside of the plugin. Last but not least, we have my favorite feature, and it is called dark mode. Right up here, you see this little thing that says classic. If I click this, Anyway, let me click it again because I don't think y'all saw it. It's happening too fast. Dark mode. Everything goes dark, boys and girls. The MIDI player gets dark. The layer mixer follows that as well. Dark mode is just sexy. I'm sorry. You know how it is when, when you bought, like, when you had the Motif ES8 and then you bought the XF. Be honest. Most of y'all bought the XF because it was black. Y'all bought the XF because it's black. Y'all didn't buy it because it was such new and revolutionary technology. You bought it because it was dark. It was darker than the ES, and people knew that you was running the new Motif because it was a different color. This changes the game, in my opinion, because it just looks sexy. But it also, when you're performing live and you're on a dark stage or you're on a light stage or whatever, a lot of light in your face, dark mode kind of helps to give you a different aesthetic, you know what I mean, for the plugin. And plus, just at the end of the day, it just looks cool. I ain't even gonna hold you. So that's pretty much everything that is new inside of Peculiar Sounds V2.